My question is, so you know how in Thomas Sowell he wrote this book called Discriminations and Disparities,
Yeah, I actually
and
read
he
that.
talks about personal motivations and how some people have grown up raised in whatever victimhood they have experienced, whether that's been single motherhood or fatherlessness, homelessness, whatever, and they're grown basically up in that environment, and then they don't have the personal motivations, or they don't think or see themselves as being lawyers or doctors or president or anything like that. They just see NBA players, rappers, things like that. And we see that the left has put so much money and time and effort into reparations and critical race theory and stuff like that. How are they able to manipulate the situation when the outcomes are very much outweighing and having negative consequences? How are they so able to freely manipulate that situation?
Yeah, that's a good question. What they're doing is they're weaponizing our struggle to sell us a lie. Instead of saying, we know that America have unduly put black people through a certain struggle, let us empower you to empower yourself, not sit here and let us hand you something. And that's what they've been doing over the last several years. They don't fix the schools. They just let you in a university with affirmative action. It's like, no, fix the schools so the kids are qualified and they're competitive. You don't go to the end of the line to try to fix something. You go to the root of it. Young black people, like when I was growing up, I never thought about being a doctor. I didn't know a doctor. I knew a whole bunch of dudes playing college football. I knew a whole bunch of dudes rapping. I wanted to be like, Tupac was my favorite rapper. Me and my cousins, when we were young, we used to try to battle rap each other to beat Bone Thugs. Well, y'all probably too young to know Bone Thugs and Harmony and all them. But we used to battle rap to beat Bone Thugs and Harmony. We just didn't have the vision. And it's unfortunate that that just gets perpetuated and celebrated time and time again. I understand why it happens, because it's easier to be successful playing sports than it is in academics to a certain degree, right? Yeah. You come from a crappy school. I went to Dunbar High School, which I love my school, but it's in the hood, man, and we didn't have resources like that. Yeah. Some people did very well academically. I didn't. I went to university and got a degree for free by playing sports. But what we have to understand and what needs to be preached is that there's life outside of just this glam of athletics and entertainment. We need to start finding other people to look up to than just LeBron. Like the young lady, and then I don't think she was black enough, but she didn't know who Ben Carson was. But if I asked her who Beyonce was, she'll tell me. And Ben Carson is far greater of an impact in American history than Beyonce could ever have. She makes music. Ben Carson is one of the most brilliant men to ever live out of any race of anybody. So I think that they've been playing us with the emotionalism and weaponizing our pain. Because black people, I remember when I was in college and I took Africana Studies, my first class we learned about lynching. I was so mad I was so mad at white people when I saw that I used to walk through campus and I would walk straight and I'd be like, let a white person bump into me. I had this anger and hatred that I had when I saw how they did these black people. So the question from that point is that, do you go with hatred or do you understand what has happened and you want to be better? And you understand that me and you and none of these people have nothing to do with slavery. We have nothing to do with it. That stuff was a long time ago. To me, slavery doesn't affect us today. Only in understanding how it happened and not repeating it, but it don't affect us today. There's nothing stopping me from being on the university full of white people. How am I any different than a white person? Let me tell you this. I want to say this. When people say that black people have a disadvantage in America, and they explore this idea or they exacerbate this idea of white privilege, they're essentially saying black people aren't better or aren't the same as white people. They're saying that black people are less than white people. Because right now, every black person on this campus should understand that there's nothing that a white person can do that you can't do. And if you don't feel that way, you've been tricked. I went to a university in New Jersey. Look at this woman still talking. Can you be respectful? Why don't you come to the mic? You're disrespecting another sister. All you're doing is disrespecting everybody that's coming to the mic. Let me move on. Because you're drawing attention to you. You're in my ear. You're in my ear.
And look, I'm getting the attention I want, right?
Really? This is the attention you want?
Not really, but that's the thing. So
I don't think nothing. I just want you to stop or come to the mic. It's just simple, man. See, this is the difference. You can't have a mentality like this. This is how people fail in life to a certain degree. You got to have decorum Even if you disagree with somebody, you got to have a level of decorum. But anyway, let me move on to the next question. You have a next question?
That's basically it. But yeah, with especially, I think that people take it because every single ethnicity in America has had a history of coming into the United States. You know, like the Italians came and they were discriminated against. Irish people came, they were discriminated against. I think that black people's integration into society was more recent in years as far as segregation goes. I know we were slaves and stuff like that, but when they were supposed to be accepted as people, it was entirely different as opposed to that. But it's just crazy.
No, I think I agree. You made a really good point, and I think that everybody should understand this. She had made mention that the integration of black people is much different, right? If you look at the Hispanic people that have come into this country, the integration is different. They come through immigration or they illegally come into this country, whichever way they do it. They didn't have to go through slavery, Jim Crow, and all the other stuff. So that's a valiant point, that black people did have a challenging position to be integrated into America. It's much difficult. But I think through the adversity and difficulty, black people have become much better than they would have if it was no adversity. And if you take advantage of it, you will be great. And there's nobody has done anything great without adversity. Nobody. Nobody. And I feel like black people that are successful have taken adversity and they've maximized. They've taken that idea of saying, well, you can't come into this restaurant, to saying, you know what, I'm gonna open my own restaurant and I'm gonna change this thing. My dad, that's why having a father is important. My dad, I remember he was on a fire department. He started when he was 19. My dad is almost, let's see what my dad, almost 60. Started when he was 19. He said there was discrimination on the fire department when he first started. Like some white guys and then black guys, they didn't really get along. What did my dad do? Did he tuck his tail between his legs? Did he go cry and want to get Al Sharpton to get involved? My dad said, you know what? They better watch how they treat me because one day they'll be working for me. My dad became the chief, Fort Worth, Texas. He was a battalion chief in Fort Worth, Texas, retired. Chief of Waco, retired. Chief of Keller, Texas. And he's gonna retire from there. You don't need to allow adversity to make you crumble like a coward. You take adversity and you maximize and you become great because of it. I came from Fort Worth, Texas, Dunbar High School, and Stop 6 in the hood. I didn't let that dictate who I would become. I said, you know what, I see people are selling drugs. I'm gonna give you an example. We used to have this car wash, and you get your car washed for like $5. Them crackheads, I don't know how they end up putting coins in there or whatever. They'll wash your car $5. One day I went to the car wash, get my car wash, and I saw a brother smoking crack behind that car wash, and it hurt me. I said, why am I giving money to see my brother smoke crack on the back of this thing just to get my car washed? That changed how I saw my own community. And I said, I want to make a difference. I'm gonna become a police officer because I want to make a difference in policing. I want to go to university and get an education because most people in my family have never been to a university. I took adversity and I said, let me take this adversity and use it as fuel to make me become the greatest man that I can be. And if everybody does that and are consistent, they will maximize what God has for them. Not everybody gonna be rich. Not everybody gonna be Elon Musk. That's not your goal. Your goal is to play the cards that God has put in your hand. And that goal may be being a good mom. That goal may be being a straight A student, graduating cum laude, summa cum laude. That may be just being a good person to other people and changing people's lives. Like, we have to understand that. It's not a failure if you're not rich and you don't get to this pinnacle of what people lie to you about as the American dream. It's about maximizing who you are and getting to the peak of what you can become.
So my name is a little odd. Most people just call me San, S-A-N.
Your son? Okay.
Yeah. So my question pertains to, you probably can't see it, but there's a little whiteboard over there. It's basically saying all white people are inherently racist. I think it's, I think it's really dumb. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, as a fellow African American, what do you tell other people of the community or other races? How do you explain to them that not all white people are these devils or racist people, and that everybody can be? It's okay to have a little bit of animosity towards people, and it's okay to just air out these things and not just act on them anymore. just
Right.
not be crazy about it.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that I wish that everybody would look at each person as an individual.
Yes.
In my faith, we all children of God, and you know, everybody got their own life, man. You know, like you can't lump everybody in the same category, right? There's black people that I seen down the street that I didn't know they're gonna try to rob me in the car or not. Does that mean that every black person is like that? No. Does that mean every white person is a racist because one fool want to say something crazy? No, it's just common sense. Even siblings are not the same. Just because my brother do a certain thing don't mean I do the same thing. We're all different. Every single person is different. God made everybody different. Everybody got a different DNA. Everybody got different fingerprints. We're all different. So I would tell people, judge a person based on your interaction with that one person. And I think an even bigger thing is like, people may see me on social media and they come here and they have this built up ideology of this is what Brandon Tatum is. Don't do that, man. Just come and hear me out. And I would say the same for other people. Just take each individual and love everybody initially, right? Until they give you a reason not to want to be a part of what they're doing.
So the question I was going to be having today was, with how much division that's happening as of right now within
Right.
the United States, how are we all going to be able to heal together as a nation?
The healing process has to be an individual thing. I look at you, you may be a different color than me, I don't know you, I don't hate you. I don't think you hate me.
Yes, sir.
Unless you show me something that make me think you hate me. That's how we all should operate with one another. If I see another black person, I don't automatically believe that she's on my side or not. I love her because I'm a Christian and God told me to love other people. And then I'll talk to her and she may hate me and be evil to me. Or she may just talk on the side like this girl over here. But regardless of that, we should love one another and treat everybody with respect. It's not that hard. I mean, it could be difficult, but I think we should do it. Right? I mean, I don't think do you hate black people?
No, sir.
So, you know, I think that people should give everybody a fair shot and not think that you are a racist white man and hate black people, or think that she ghetto or this guy's illegal or something. We shouldn't do that. We should love everybody for who they are, even if people make mistakes, right? Just say that he was illegal in this country. That don't mean I hate the man. Just say that you were racist because you were raised that way. I'm not saying you are.
Yeah.
Let me make sure the camera's got, he's not a racist. Okay? But even if you were, the way God promotes to his followers to do is to love you first, because maybe something you've been taught has caused you to feel a certain way. Mm-hmm. And if I love you and we have a conversation, maybe we can find a common ground and people change that way. Mm-hmm. We often look at when I look at slavery, racism in America, I think that people who were racist, and it's gonna sound salacious, but I think people who were racist in America were victims as well. And this is why I say that. If you are born and your mama and them tell you to hate this person your whole life, you become victimized to that. Because not a single kid is born as a racist. You come out the womb and you're like, I don't like black, oh, look at that black kid. Nobody does that. Somebody who was an ignorant fool taught somebody to hate the other person. To me, I think that person was a victim of that theology. Just like black people that don't believe in themselves, that think the white man is, they're a victim to somebody telling them something stupid, and they happen to believe it. So we should treat everybody with respect, love everybody, until they give you a reason not to fool with them. The end. I mean, that's the end of that. You have another question?
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
everything. Thank you so much.
I'm Chris.
What's your name?
Chris.
Chris? Okay,
Yeah.
Chris.
I want you to tell me exactly the point in history where America was great.
You know,
As
it's
a
funny.
black man.
Point to me a time in history where America wasn't great. Tell me where it
The birth
starts.
of America.
No, point in America
this
where
country
America
was
wasn't
built
great.
on murder and thievery and deception. What do you mean?
Now let me explain this to you real quick. This is for everybody to listen to. Everybody always have this perception that we shouldn't acknowledge America as being great. America started at a certain point and grew and came better over time. No country that you know of was 100% perfect at the foundation. No country.
You
no
didn't answer my
country in the
question.
world. No countries in Africa, no countries in Europe. You can name it. Everybody started at a certain point, and it became greater
You
over
didn't
time.
answer my question.
Ever since you've been alive, America has been the greatest it's ever been.
You think so?
100%, brother. You can name somewhere else that's better than America. And why don't you live there?
I'm not sure.
I know you're not sure because they don't exist.
Were they
Show me somewhere else that's as diverse as America. Anywhere.
As
Pick it.
diverse?
That's as diverse.
What does diversity mean if if people are being
Opportunities for
discriminated
all
against?
people. Show me another country that give opportunities for all people like America
Do you
does.
think we have the same opportunity as everybody else, as black people?
Yeah, 100%.
With a 200-year economic head start on us and no
What's stopping you
reparations?
now? Aren't you at this university?
Yeah.
You're at the university just like all these white people. How's that any different? Can't you?
I want you to go
but-
2 blocks that way and tell me
Forget
where
that.
they at.
You can read. You can go to class. You can make good grades. I'm hoping that you're making straight A's. How is America stopping you from doing that? And
it's
how
not
is it
stopping
stopping
me.
you from being prosperous enough to go down the street and make a difference in your own community? How is America stopping you from doing
Why
that?
is it my responsibility to make a difference in my community that was sabotaged from the start?
I don't think. Let's go back to the
Do
foundation.
you think the CIA planted drugs in our communities?
They didn't make you sell it?
Do you think they?
No. I agree.
Do you think they
I
burned
read
down
stories of how
black
the CIA,
businesses? Do you know what Black Hollywood is?
Let's go one at a time. I've heard stories that the CIA planted drugs in the inner city communities. Not every black community, but in some. They still don't make you go and sell drugs to your brother, do they? Why are you not selling drugs right now? Because it doesn't make sense for you to do that. You have an opportunity to go to a university, get an education, and make yourself better and make your family better in the next few generations. Nobody's stopping us from doing that. I'm sitting on campus right now, and all these people are listening to me.
You know what's stopping
What's stopping me?
Money.
Well, in America, what's stopping you from making money in America?
What the is not stopping us from making money?
You
What
got
the
the same
do you
university as
mean?
all these white people. How you got a different?
Exactly.
You said what? Excuse me?
We're in debt.
That's
That's
is
our
your
fault. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right?
Okay,
we were never given boots to begin with.
Let's start with this. I actually went and graduated from a university. So I'm not a guy that didn't go to college. I had a full scholarship, so I didn't pay for school my undergrad. Graduate school, I paid for out of my pocket. I did not get a loan. I mean, I did not have to get loan forgiveness or nothing like that. I had $11,000 worth of debt and I paid it. How is that different than anybody else out here?
Because everybody doesn't have the same opportunity.
I'm black though. How did I pay my loan off and you can't? Or
Where you from?
well, I'm from Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Dunbar High School.
Fort Worth,
right in the
Texas.
hood and stop 6. Right in the hood and stop 6. How did I get to this point if America's against me?
Did everybody in your neighborhood get to that point?
Well, different choices. There's a lot of people in my
Where your
neighborhood that
childhood
made it
friends
out
at?
because they made better choices. I could have sold drugs. I didn't. Why?
What do you-
Because I wanted something better out of my life.
What do you say about the disproportionate wealth? Is that
Okay.
does that not matter?
It's about culture. How much money do you save?
I don't know. I'm in debt, bro.
You in debt. How much do you invest?
I don't know.
How did you get into debt? Who chose to come here?
Me.
Well, that's you laid it out. Now, when you come here, for every college student here, this should be an investment into your future.
Right.
Anybody that know anything about making money knows that you have to invest to get to the next step.
How are we
You may
supposed to know
listen. You
anything
may
about
be in
making
debt.
money?
You may be in debt to make an investment to get to the next step. So if you do this properly, this is a debt investment to make more money in the future. If you come here and clown around and take a major that won't put you anywhere, then you just got into debt for no doggone reason. It's a cultural thing. Black people in America don't have wealth like others because they choose not to generate wealth through investments and passing their money down.
Who's teaching us to do this?
We should teach each other to do it. Why does somebody got to teach? You want the white man to teach us? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, hell, teach us something.
Okay, no, you could teach something. You got a college, you could get a college education. When you have children, teach your
so
children.
basically, help yourselves. We know you have this 200-year head start.
That
we know
doesn't
we've
matter, bro.
sabotaged
You don't have
from,
nothing to do with. You don't have nothing to do with that.
Oh,
You don't have nothing to do with
I thought you
that.
said one at a time.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
I don't
Do
have
you?
nothing to do with what?
The 200 years that you're talking about.
Yes, I do. Have you ever heard of generational trauma, generational wealth?
You
My
have
people don't own anything.
Where
My
you come-
people
where you
own
come from?
nothing.
Where you
How
come
can
from?
you build something when my people come from nothing? I come from South Memphis.
And I come from stop 6.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I went to university.
What
you went
does
to university.
comparison mean?
It
What
means
does
that when you-
comparison mean
Just
when the
real quick.
statistics say that we are behind?
We are not behind. Some people are behind. We're not behind. Why? Because we make positive decisions. He not behind. He not behind. She not behind. Do I want to go point
You're
out all
on a
the black
college
people?
campus.
But does college guarantee us success?
You're on a college campus.
It depends on what you do with what you have presented to you. You were born in wherever you were born at. Look at you now. What's the difference between you and other people that didn't choose?
Opportunity.
How did you get the opportunity that other people didn't? You were in debt, so you didn't have the money. You didn't have the money to pay for it.
My parents didn't have much, but they had enough to keep me out the hood trying to make some money any way I can. I know people who have no anything. They have to go out there. They have no other choice. They have a horrible education. Do you know what the education system is like here? It's horrible.
Okay, so let's explain it like this. I wanna make sure we talk it at the same level.
Right.
So in America, every single person has an opportunity to do something with what they have in their hand.
And we have nothing in our hands. That's the point.
Let me say this. I believe wholeheartedly that God gives you a hand of cards to play. Hear me out.
God gives you.
Hear me out. God gives you a hand of cards to play. Not everybody's hand is the same. What you can have a full deck of great cards and you play them poorly, you won't make it in life. You can have a bad hand. You play them strategically and you play them right, you'll do good in life. You had a not so good hand growing up where you grew up at. You made positive decisions that led you here. That's the hand you've been dealt. Everybody don't have a freaking silver spoon in their mouth. America is the only place.
They proportionately.
Who is they?
Everybody else, man.
Everybody else like who? Are you saying white people? Brother, you in the same situation as all these white people, and you playing the victim.
Am I?
You at the same university?
Am I? What does the same university have to do with anything?
You go to the same classes?
I had a 4.3 GPA in high school. I did what I was supposed to. I did what I was supposed to do.
What's your GPA now?
3.6.
Brother, what's holding you back then?
That's the point. Everybody doesn't have a 3.6. Everybody is
Do
not.
you just get a 3.6 because you woke up one day? You studied, didn't you?
Right. No, I actually didn't.
You didn't study.
No.
So then you have a gift that you can go and make a 3-point something and don't even study.
Right.
Brother, I mean, I don't know. I think we're wasting our time talking to each other. The bottom line is that if you study, you work hard, you play the cards that you're dealt properly, you will be successful. This country makes more millionaires than anywhere in the world. You can talk, Oprah Winfrey came from nothing. Tyler Perry came from nothing. I mean, you go down a list. You go down a list, brother.
Why are you naming rich black people?
Because these are the people.
Why are you naming rich black people?
All right, me.
You talking about me and you. I'm talking about everybody in the surrounding, everybody outside of this bubble.
Listen, man, you're a product of your decision making. You're an example that you can come from nothing and come to the university.
A product of your decision making when the majority
you
of
came
others
from
are a
nothing and you're
product
at the
of their
university.
environment.
What are we saying? You came from nothing, you're at the university. Well, how about you go and teach other young men like you that grew up where you grew up how to do what you did to get here, period. What's the problem in that? Well, come to the mic, please. Can you come to the mic?
He want me off the mic.
No, it doesn't matter about recording. Can you come to the mic so we can hear your question, please?
Come on, we can double team the mic.
So we can get the audio in.
We can double team the mic. We can double team the mic.
Just ask the question and I'll try to answer your question. Hold on 1 second. What's your question?
How does everyone have an opportunity when systematically the U.S. has multiple inequities within?
What inequities? Can you explain one?
Inequities in education.
Wait, inequities in education, what does that mean? Do you consider yourself a minority?
I do.
Is the country against you?
Systemically, in a way, it could be.
But it's not. You're here. You did what you're supposed to do to get here. That's what it's about, individuality. If you do what you need to do, you'll be here.
You as in everybody on this campus.
Listen, some people grow up in a terrible environment. Can we agree? Some people in that terrible environment make positive decisions to get out of that environment. Some people, it takes longer in life to do that. And that's not a black thing. It's an everybody thing. There's poor white people in this country too. Do you not forget that? Most people on food stamps are white. Most people incarcerated are white.
Most people in the country are white.
Most people get killed by police are white.
Most everybody in this country is white. What does that statistic have to do with anything?
That if poverty was just relegated to black people, it would only be black people.
You talking
on
the script? I can't listen.
All right, come on. Next person.